Doug Ford bites. Hey, I think you all know what's about to happen right now. Doug Ford bites. Yeah, he does. I'm hoping these videos have helped. I'm hoping that they are nice and shareable and the message gets out to remind people of the horrible things he has done. A super huge thank you to everyone who has helped spread the message. All the people on Twitter I have been bugging and harassing for the past couple of weeks. I appreciate it. Canada as a whole is a country that is not politically engaged. And I believe a large part of that is because we see the governments switch back and forth from generally conservative to liberals, and we never really see things getting better. They tend to get worse. For a lot of people, if they're doing fine, then they don't tend to pay that much attention to policies. They don't look at the long game. They don't look at what these policies will lead to in the future because they're just more concerned about now. And I can understand that. Trying to survive this world that we're in right now can be daunting. And with our election cycles so small, talk of actual politics happens really only during that time. And the rest of the year, it's nothing. We need to get more engaged with politics in this country. Everything around us has to do with politics. If you're LGBTQ+, politics plays a major role in our rights and freedoms. If you have a disability, politics plays a major role into how much support you get from the government. If you're living with poverty, if you want to buy a new house, the housing crisis, the environment, everything that works around us is in part to do with how our government operates. And a lot of what our government does right now is really bad. What our government does to Indigenous peoples is horrendous. Offering MAID to people with disabilities before offering proper supports is horrendous. We see what's happening in the States, and so many people up here just take it for granted and say it will never happen here. As a Canadian, I'm grateful to be up here in this country where we have health care, where we have freedoms, we have rights. I feel safe walking down the street. Do you? For a lot of the people, the answer to that is no. Our healthcare is disappearing. This election, if Doug Ford gets in, huge parts of it will be privatized. What's happening to the environment will kill the planet. And this country is not doing their part, and yet we're one of the worst contributors. Paving over parts of the Greenbelt right now for a useless highway is unconscionable. How can you do that when the planet, the life of the planet is on the line? Part of the reason why I made this channel was I wanted to help make a difference. I wanted to help get people more politically engaged. So over the year, I will still cover Canadian politics as much as I can. It's important to stay informed about what's happening in this country because mainstream media is not reporting it. There were so many more things I could have put in the Doug Ford Bites series that the media just briefly touched on, and a lot more that the media just didn't even mention. Quick question for those who are watching this right now. Did you know that part of Ontario has been without power for a week now? Yeah, that's a thing that's happening right now. Part of Ontario has been without power for a week. People living with poverty had all their food spoiled, and they're not getting much in the way of help if you're on Ontario Works or disability because you won't qualify for extra benefits. I need your support to help continue this channel to get the message out there. You can support me by hitting the like button, subscribing if you haven't already. You can financially help me out by becoming a patron, link in the description box below, or checking out my Amazon wish list and seeing if there's anything there that you can contribute to my studio so that I can make this look a little bit more professional. Get some better lighting, get a better chair because this one is killing my back. This channel has never been just about me. It's been about what we can do together. And I believe if enough people are motivated, if enough people get engaged, if enough people start paying attention and running in politics themselves, we can make a major difference in the lives of people all across this country. It starts at the municipal level. Turnout for those elections are so low. We need to change that. Turnout for the provincial and federal elections is also a lot lower than it should be. Now, I know some people are probably thinking I'm being hysterical, that I'm overreacting, but this election will literally be the difference between life and death for some people. People have already been dying because of the policies of the Conservative and Liberal governments, and many more people will die if we continue to vote them in. For people with disabilities, this election is so important. If the NDP gets in, they have promised to double the rates of people living on disability, which means we are still below the poverty line, but most of us then will at least be able to afford rent and food. We need to vote like our lives are on the line, because for some of us, it is. The time to make a difference is now. Share these videos with as many people as you can and remind them of the horrible things the Conservatives have done while in office. And remember, the Liberals helped elect them into office. Right now, they are fighting more against the NDP than they are the Conservatives, which says a lot about where their loyalties lie. It's not with the people. This is the last one. I appreciate everyone's help with this. I will be sharing these like crazy, so be prepared for that. With your help, we only need to flip a few ridings to make sure that the Conservatives at least don't have a majority. But ideally, let's get the NDP in power. It is time to get informed and get involved. Salut, à la prochaine. Thank you for watching and stay tuned. I'm Sandy, wishing your tomorrow is better than your today.